All right, hello everybody. How we doing? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Sometimes this mic is not the best. Hey, Miss Ruby, how you doing? Are you Megan? You can hear me? Miss Felton or Mrs. Felton? My bad. William Marsh, how we doing? Harry Potter fan edits. Autumn. Kevin, you made me jump. My bad. Miss Ruby Malfoy, don't look here. Okay, I won't. Ginny or Jess, Piggy, how you doing? Oh, you were the first like? There we go. Oh, so like my thing right here, I wanted to go to this location in Hogwarts because I want to see if the Hogwarts Express goes by while we're doing our live stream. So if you guys see the Hogwarts Express go on the train tracks, let me know. Let me know in the comments section for sure. Because I feel like I've seen it once, but yeah, toss in a like if you enjoy the stream. And so who was reading Chamber of Secrets this week? Oh, Empty Graves, first one. I love it. Maya, how you doing? Mrs. Felton, Maya, you've been reading. Jess, I love it. And a Maya, classic Hermione quote right there. Okay, I'm gonna throw in the first poll. The first poll I'm gonna do is: Are you guys excited? Are you guys excited about the Harry Potter reboot? Because there's been a lot of debate about this. About the Harry Potter reboot. Let me know. I want to see what everyone thinks about the new Harry Potter TV series reboot because I'm hyped about it, but a lot of people are not too happy about it. Mr. Ruby Malfoy. Oh, is your birthday 4 days ago? Happy birthday. I love that. All right. Let's dive in. Let's dive into chapters 6 through 12 of Chamber of Secrets. There was a lot to get to in here. We started off with the first Chamber of Secrets attack, and then we went to Nearly Headless Nick's death day party, and then we got into the Quidditch match where Dobby jinxed the bludger, and then we got into the dueling club, which is awesome in the books, and then the Polyjuice Potion scene where Harry and Ron take Polyjuice Potion to try and see if Malfoy is the heir of Slytherin. And so the first thing that I noticed, I think it was in like chapter 6 when Harry's going to his first Quidditch practice, and it's at like 5 a.m. Harry says that he spends like a lot of time dodging Colin Creevey in the corridors, and he also says that he dodges like Lockhart. Like he doesn't want to see Colin Creevey or Lockhart in the corridors. And it made me think like a lot of times throughout the series, Harry dodges like different characters. So what other characters throughout the series did you notice Harry dodged in the corridors? Because I feel like it happens quite often. Like I remember in Half-Blood Prince, Cormac McLaggen, when he was on the Quidditch team because Ron got hurt, Harry would dodge him in the corridors. He didn't want to see Cormac McLaggen in the corridors. So I was wondering if you remember any other characters who Harry would dodge in the corridors. And then, so something else that I noticed is when the Gryffindors are going to their Quidditch practice, and then the Slytherins are also going to the Quidditch practice to train Malfoy. The classic scene in the movies where Ron does the Eat Slug spell on Malfoy. So Gryffindor is practicing for Quidditch, and then Slytherin comes on, and the Slytherin captain, Marcus Flint, actually makes a good point when he tells Oliver Wood that he tells Oliver Wood, he says, there's enough space for all of us on the Quidditch pitch. Like, we can all practice here. And I was like, that's kind of a good point, because the Quidditch pitch is huge, and there's only 7 people on the Gryffindor team and 7 people on the Slytherin team. So Marcus Flint was like, there's enough room for all of us. And I was like, that's low-key a good point. Even though he's supposed to be like the bad guy in the situation, I was like, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, Slytherin can practice on one end and Gryffindor can practice on the other. There's unlimited space in the Quidditch stadium. So that's something that I noticed that I never really thought about before. Yeah, Megan, it's been a while since I've live streamed, so I'm happy to be back. Cool Snowflake, how you doing? Gilderoy, okay, so 66% of you guys are happy about the reboot. I'm glad to see that. I'm very happy to see that. Also, let me know if anyone sees the Hogwarts Express on the train tracks. I went to the astronomy tower specifically because I want to see the Hogwarts Express. I haven't seen it since I played Hogwarts Legacy, so let me know if you see it go by. So another thing that I noticed is that Ron, when he does the eat slug spell on Malfoy and it rebounds to him because he has a broken wand, in the movies Ron says eat slugs, but in the books Ron does a non-verbal spell. He doesn't say anything, and he's able to do the spell, which is crazy because students don't learn non-verbal spells until their 6th year. And so what I thought with it is that Ron was defending Hermione because Malfoy called Hermione a mudblood, and Ron, the surge of love that Ron had for Hermione in that moment to defend Hermione gave him the magical ability to do a non-verbal spell in his 2nd year. Because throughout the series, Dumbledore always says that love is the most powerful magic in the world. And it's usually associated with Lily's protective love for Harry. That's usually what, like, our vision of love in the magical world. But this was a moment where Ron's love for Hermione boosted his magical ability and gave him the ability to do a nonverbal spell. And Ron was probably the first 2nd year in the history of Hogwarts to do a nonverbal spell because love gave him that ability. I thought that was pretty cool. So the books are very different from the movies. And that's oh, Piggy, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. So the books are very different from the movies, and that's why I'm excited about Harry Potter doing a TV series, because they're going to be able to show so much more in the TV series. And I was just thinking about the Goblet of Fire movie. In Goblet of Fire, in the books, Beauxbatons and Durmstrang, those students show up on Halloween night. But in the movie, Beauxbatons and Durmstrang show up on the first day of school. And so and the movie skips out on 2 months of events. So that's just like one example of why the TV series is a good idea, because in the movie Goblet of Fire, there are 2 months that are just totally skipped over, that we don't see anything that happened in the books. And so that's just like one example of why it's a good idea. But yeah, make sure to like the stream if you're enjoying the book club. Really appreciate it. And then another thing that I noticed is that the first reference of Ginny being possessed is in October, when Hagrid says that he's seen Ginny like hanging around his hut, and she's been looking pale. And that's because Ginny was hanging around Hagrid's hut because she was killing the roosters or whatever. So the first mention of her being possessed was in October. And then another thing that I noticed is that in the books, it says that Filch ran flat-footed, because in the movies, it's become kind of a joke, like Filch's running style is like something that people always laugh at, like the way that Filch runs. And so I was wondering, it says that Filch runs flat-footed, and is that the way that he runs in the movies? I should have looked up what flat-footed running looks like, but it would be funny if that is actually how Filch ran, because he had a funny running style in the movies. Oh, Eric, how we doing? Will he ask Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Yes, he will definitely. Yeah, the Dumbledore. He will definitely do it calmly. Who's going to play Dumbledore? That's an interesting question. I definitely think he's going to do it calmly for sure. Megan, how long will the live stream be? I have no idea. It just depends on how when I run out of my notes. I've got a few pages of notes on everything that I was reading about in chapters 6 through 12. So, Kevin, do you think that Tom Felton would... Yeah, so it would be cool if Tom Felton played Lucius. I would like that. I wonder if we'd be thinking about it a little too much, though. Like, when Tom Felton is Lucius, I don't know if I'd be thinking, like, that's Draco Malfoy or not. I don't know if it would take me out of it, you know? I would love for him to get that opportunity because he seems to really love Harry Potter. He's one of the actors or actresses that continues to carry on that Harry Potter banner. So I'd love it for him if he was able to, if he was able to get that role. That'd be awesome. Francesca, how you doing? And then. So something else that I noticed is that at Nearly Headless Nick's death day party, he says that one of the ghosts, who is the Wailing Widow, he says that the Wailing Widow came from Kent, which is in England. And I looked it up, and from Kent to Scotland is 528 miles. So the Wailing Widow's journey to go to Nearly Headless Nick's death day party was at least 528 miles. Like that's an insane journey for a ghost to make. Like she trekked for that death day party. I wonder if she stayed at Hogwarts for a few weeks after that. But I was just like, dang, the Wailing Widow came from Kent. Like that's 530 miles at least, which is wild. And everyone in the comments, let me know who your favorite character is. Who's your favorite character in the Harry Potter series? Or least favorite character? Harry, Luna, Hermione, Neville. Neville's a great one. Draco all the way. Yeah, Mrs. Felton. You got to be loyal to your husband. Fred and George, Bellatrix, Snape, Neville, Francesca, Hermione, Nicole, Hermione, Dre, Luna, and Sirius. Those are great choices. Maya of Toka, Luna, Marine, Fred and George, Mrs. Felton, Draco. Yeah, Mrs. Felton, Draco twice. So something else that I noticed is, Professor Sprout, Marine. That's an underrated character right there, Professor Sprout. She has a huge role in Chamber of Secrets as well. Padme, Francesca, Hermione for life. So Lockhart also says that so Lockhart wiped the minds of the people who actually committed the great feats of like defeating a werewolf or defeating a troll. All the people who actually did that, Lockhart wiped their minds and then took their stories. And then Lockhart, he says something. He says that all the townspeople will forever remember me as the guy who got rid of the werewolf. Like, I'll be honored. All the townspeople remember me as that guy. And I was like, wait, okay. I can understand him like being able to wipe the memory of one person, like the person who actually did the act. Like that's not that unreasonable. But all the townspeople like who witnessed it and went through what happened, like that seems a little outrageous that he was able to wipe all of their minds for them to remember that it was him that committed those great acts. I was like, everybody, that seems a little over the top for him to be able to do that. And then another thing is that when the Chamber of Secrets is first opened and Mrs. Norris is attacked, Harry says, "Can't hurt to have a look around." And I was like, that's the most Harry Potter quote of all time. That just defines the Golden Trio in all these books. Is Harry saying, "Can't hurt to have a look around." And it's just like, that defines you, Harry Potter. Like, I'm gonna get my nose in all the business. I'm surprised Lockhart wasn't excited when they found the cat, since he can't actually do anything about it except, yeah. So Dre, like, he was excited because he was like, oh, like, so unlucky I wasn't there. I could have, like, I knew the counter jinx that could have saved her. And then something else that I noticed was, so has anyone seen the Hogwarts Express go on the train tracks yet, by the way? I've been looking for that. I want to see if the Hogwarts Express goes by. But when Mrs. Norris was attacked, and Colin Creevy's your favorite? There we go. Wait, Francesca, you saw the Hogwarts Express go by? Did anyone else see it? Megan, you didn't? No, Mrs. Felton. Lavender is underrated, yeah. So when Mrs. Norris got attacked, and all the teachers are in the room, and Harry and Ron are there, and they're all talking about the attack and what happened, Harry says he notices that Snape has like a smile on his face. And I was wondering, like, is Snape just like loving it because it's like, oh, like the dark arts or whatever? Because Snape is obsessed with the dark arts. So is he like low key happy about this because he loves the dark magic that's going on? And I was like, yes. Is Snape just like secretly loving all the dark magic that's going on? Kevin, who's your least favorite? My least favorite character. It doesn't have anything to do with their like. People hate Professor Umbridge, but I love Professor Umbridge because she's such a great dynamic character who brings a lot to the story. But I feel like just like a boring character is like maybe Cho Chang. I'm not a huge fan of Cho Chang. She's just like very bland, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't really like Cho Chang, to be honest. Yeah. So another question that I had is, when Mrs. Norris was petrified, Harry said that there was scorch marks on the ground. So I know why. Yeah, you don't like her either, Maureen. Well, I like Umbridge's character because she just like brings a lot to the story, and she makes the story so interesting. Of course, I hate her personality, but her character, her character is she brings a lot to the story, and that's what I like. Yeah, so at Mrs. Norris's attack, why were there scorch marks on the ground? Because I get whether there were spiders like fleeing because they're scared of the snake, and there's water on the ground because Ginny left the sinks on. But why were there scorch marks? Doesn't that mean like burn marks? Why would there be burn marks on the ground? And then also, so after Lockhart's disastrous pixie class, where he brought the pixies and released them, and it was just mayhem, he decided for the rest of his classes, he was just going to sit there and read the students his books. So basically, read the students, tell the students like about the times that like he defeated a werewolf or he defeated a vampire. And I was like, if I was a parent, I'd be like, yo, what is going on? Like, what am I paying the school Hogwarts to do? And that's low-key why I think Umbridge, if I was a parent of a Hogwarts student, I'd be so happy in Order of the Phoenix if like the Ministry sent someone to like investigate these teachers and to go into the classes and see that these teachers are actually like actually being good teachers. Because Lockhart just like, their defense against the dark arts classes were him just like reading passages from his books. Like, that's such a waste of time, and it was such a waste of the parents' money. I know Umbridge was just like had the total wrong intentions with it, but if I was a Hogwarts parent, I'd be like, finally someone is actually like investigating these teachers and going into their classrooms and making sure things are in tip-top shape, because One of the professors was a Death Eater. Another one had Voldemort on the back of his head the whole entire year. Another teacher is just reading stories. Like, it's just like, if I was a parent, I'd be like, yo, someone needs to make sure that these teachers are actually doing the right things. And Umbridge wasn't doing that, but at least she was investigating the teachers. Who was the best mom in the series, in my opinion? Ooh. I mean, Mrs. Weasley would be the obvious choice, I feel like. Ooh. I feel low-key Narcissa might be the best mom. Because she's just like all about her child. She's not the best person. Like, towards everyone else, she doesn't care about anyone else at all, and she's very snotty towards everyone else, but towards Draco or Petunia might even be. But no, Petunia's probably too loving, because then it raises Dudley to be like a total brat. So maybe Mrs. Weasley. I feel like a mix of Narcissa and Mrs. Weasley is like the perfect mom, because Mrs. Weasley is very strict, and she actually holds her kids accountable and is not too lovey-dovey towards them. And then Narcissa is like very protective and like takes care of her children. So a mix of Narcissa and Mrs. Weasley would be the perfect mom. Have you ever wondered how Hogwarts students would travel for the Triwizard Tournament? Yeah, I would assume Portkey. That's my only. If I thought deeper about it, I might think of like another way. You know what would be cool is if they all went into the room of requirement and like thought of a way to get to that school, because when in Deathly Hallows, when the students are in the room of requirement, they're like, oh, like I'm hungry, like I wish I had some food, and all of a sudden a passage to the Hog's Head appeared, and I was just like, oh, like. If they all went in the room requirement and would be like, I wish there was a way to like to Beauxbatons, and then all of a sudden like a passage to Beauxbatons appeared, like I'd be like, that'd be dope. And then also, so Lockhart tells Harry before his first Quidditch match, Lockhart says that he was an amazing Quidditch player, and and he would have gone pro in Quidditch if he didn't dedicate his life to eradicating the dark arts. And then he offers to give Harry like flying lessons. And I was like, if I was Harry, I would have been like, yeah, let's go tomorrow. Yeah, give me some flying lessons. Like, because I would just love to see Lockhart just make an absolute fool of himself. Harry, like, in the moment, Harry says, like, no, like, I'm good. Like, I don't need flying lessons. But I was like, if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, let's go right now. Yeah, get on your broom. Show me what's up, Lockhart. Like, show me what you got. What's my favorite class? Oof. I mean, Defense Against the Dark Arts is tough to... Care Magical Creatures, I feel like, would be sweet, though. I feel like Care Magical Creatures would be the most interesting, because you're outside. You get to go to the Forbidden Forest. So, have we seen the Hogwarts Express yet? Has anyone seen the Hogwarts Express go by? Let me know if you do. Let me know in the comments if you see the Hogwarts Express go by. Yeah, what's everyone's favorite class? Let me know in the comments. Autumn, your favorites potions? Cool snowflake charms? Yeah. Megan, Defense Against the Dark Arts. Miss Ruby, how you doing? Yeah, but if Lockhart told me like he would have been a professional Quidditch player and then offered to give me flying lessons, I would have been like, yeah, dude, show me. Like, give me proof. Let's do it. And then also, Defense Against the Dark Arts and potions for you, Eva. Care of Magical Creatures, Francesca. Yeah, and Dre, you care of magical creatures. So, you know what I thought was funny is after the flying car incident, Harry and Ron are both like, oh, flying lessons. Good call, Mr. Ruby Malfoy. Transfiguration, Padme. Bye, Miss Felton. Thanks for joining. So after the flying car incident, Harry and Ron are both like, we can't step another toe out of line. Like, we can't break the rules anymore. Like, we're almost expelled. Like we gotta be cool, just stay in our lane. Like we can't do anything. And then obviously the second that something happens, Harry and Ron are going, as soon as the Chamber of Secrets is opened, Mrs. Norris gets petrified. They're like, we gotta investigate the girls' bathroom. We gotta steal potions from Snape's office. Like, after the flying car incident, they're like, thank God we weren't expelled. And then as soon as something happens, they're like, we're going in the girls' bathroom. We're investigating. We're going to steal Snape's potions. We're going to break the rules. We're going to create Polyjuice potion. We're just going to cause mayhem. It's like, I thought you guys were trying to walk the fine line. I thought you guys were trying to not break the rules anymore. And then it's just like right away, they're like, boom, we're back in it. Lupin's one of your favorite characters? Definitely. And so something else that I noticed is that, so in the match where Dobby jinxed the bludger, why didn't any of the Gryffindor Quidditch players like tell Madam Hooch, like, yo, look at the bludger. Like it's totally, someone's jinxing the bludger and it's just chasing Harry, because Harry calls a timeout. And the Gryffindor team is all like talking over, and like Harry, Fred, and George are like telling Oliver that the bludger's jinxed and that it's just chasing Harry around. So why didn't Oliver Wood then turn to Madame Hooch, who's the referee, and be like, hey, the bludger's just following our seek around. Someone's jinxing the bludger. This game is rigged. Like, can you just like keep an eye on that or whatever? Like, why didn't they why didn't they do any, like, and how did Madame Hooch like not notice what's going on? Why didn't Gryffindor be like, hey, this is obviously rigged? Like, what's up? Yeah, Oliver Wood. So let me know if, okay, I'm going to put my next poll. Oliver Wood or Cedric Diggory? So 74% of people are excited about the Harry Potter reboot. That's dope. Has anyone seen the Hogwarts Express go by? I really want to see it go by. I haven't seen it yet. All right, who would you rather take to the Yule Ball? Rather take to the Yule Ball. Who would you rather take? Oliver Wood, Cedric Diggory. All right, let's see. Oliver Wood or Cedric Diggory? Who's the bigger stud? Let's see it, chat. See what we got. Cedric starting out hot. Cedric, 88%. Oliver Wood, my boy. 82% for Cedric. 75% for Cedric. 75 for Cedric. He's taking it away. Oh, Miss Ruby, you're not going against Draco. I can't choose between them. It's tough. So also with the dueling club, why wasn't there always a dueling club at Hogwarts? Because first of all, it seems like there's always like a dark wizard like somewhere that's doing something. So I feel like a dueling club would be one of the most important things that you can teach at a school, because Dumbledore knew Voldemort was coming back at some point, and in Order of the Phoenix, when Harry started Dumbledore's army, he started off with very basic spells like Expelliarmus, the disarming charm, and no one could do it. Like there were 6th and 7th years in Dumbledore's army in Order of the Phoenix that couldn't do basic dueling spells. So the students would have been absolutely screwed if there wasn't Dumbledore's army, because they couldn't do the basic dueling disarming charm. So why wasn't a dueling club like way more relevant, and why wasn't there always a dueling club? Because like 7th years were leaving Hogwarts not knowing how to defend themselves at all. Like defense against the dark arts, those classes were all teaching you how to defend yourself against magical creatures, basically, like Bogarts and Grindylows and and pixies and all those, but no one was teaching these students how to defend yourself against a dark wizard. So that's something that I was. Cedric 68%. Bye, Francesca. Thanks for joining. Yeah, Camila. Hogwarts education is not. It's not the best, to be honest. I feel like Charms is the only class. Charms and Transfiguration, like Flitwick and McGonagall hold it down and actually teach you interesting things. But I feel like Defense Against the Dark Arts should be more. Every class is about defeating a magical creature, and none of them teach you how to defend yourself against a person who's going to come at you, which seems way more likely in the wizarding world. Like, when do we ever see Harry, Ron, and Hermione run into a magical creature that they have to defend themselves against in real life? Like, it never happens. It's always dark wizards that they have to defend themselves against, and there's no class at Hogwarts that teaches that. I was just like, what is going on? Let's change it to Day real quick. I like Day way more in Harry Potter. And I want to see this Hogwarts Express. Let me know in the comments if you ever see the Hogwarts Express. One question, isn't there any simpler way except moving the stairs? Wait, what do you mean by that, cool snowflake? Lila, I don't hate Cedric, I just prefer Oliver. Yeah. I would prefer Oliver. What's my favorite book? What's my favorite sassy Harry book scene? So I was reading Philosopher's Stone, and Harry was super sassy. God, I'm forgetting what exactly it was. I think it was. So the mail came in Philosopher's Stone. It was like Harry's first letter or whatever, and so Mr. Dursley was like to Dudley, he was like, "Oh, Dudley, go get the mail." And Dudley was like, "Make Harry get it." And so Mr. Dursley was like, "Harry, get the mail." And Harry was like, "Make Dudley get it." Like, knowing full well he's not going to make Dudley get it, but like Harry is just like sassy joking around. And I was like, and that's when I was like, oh, Harry's a lot more like James than we think. There's a lot more moments where Harry is like very jokingly and snidely like James than we think, for sure. All right, I want to see this Hogwarts Express. I want to see it go by. Okay, let's get on to what's the next one? Why wasn't there a dueling club? And then, so here's something I thought. So when Snape and Lockhart duel in the dueling club, Snape uses Expelliarmus and it blasts Lockhart backwards. So a lot of people are like, why would the Expelliarmus charm blast Lockhart backwards? Like, Expelliarmus is only meant to take your wand out of your hand. And so what I was thinking is that Snape in his head was doing a nonverbal spell simultaneously while saying Expelliarmus out loud. Which I don't know if that's possible, but that's kind of the thing that I came up with, because like Snape's mind is so powerful, he's so good at occlumency and legitimacy that he's able to do a nonverbal spell simultaneously with a verbal spell. And so does that make sense? Do you guys think that's possible? Let me know if you think that's possible. Was Snape doing a nonverbal spell in his head that made Lockhart blast backwards when he did the disarming charm? Kevin, what's my favorite Tonks scene? My favorite Tonks scene. I'll be honest, I really like the Tonks scene in Half-Blood Prince when she's going through the corridors, when Harry just randomly runs into her in the corridors. Because she's like an Auror defending Hogwarts, and it's just a very casual scene where Harry and Tonks are just talking as friends, and like that's a moment that I love. That's going to be in the TV series because they can go way more in depth. It's just a very casual moment. It's not a big deal where they're fighting Voldemort and it's crazy plot stuff. It's just Harry and Tonks running into each other in the Half-Blood Prince in the Hogwarts corridors and just like having a conversation as friends. And I was like, I love reading those moments. It's just like the casual moments in the books where people are just hanging out that I really like. So I'd say that's my favorite Tonks scene. Great question, Autumn. Yep. Superhero has a few questions. How did Dobby get the blood? I assume you mean bludger to Hogwarts. So Dobby didn't get the bludger to the bludger to Hogwarts. It was Madame Hooch's bludger that she kept locked in her office, but house elves have very powerful magic that he was able to just jinx the bludger to just chase Harry around. Francesca, you think Peeves is underrated? 20 likes? Hey, yeah, leave a like if you enjoy the stream. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. That'd be dope. You think that Dre? You think that Snape was mad? He did a strong spell. He was pretty mad. Yeah. So he was definitely mad at Lockhart, but Expelliarmus only disarms someone. So I was thinking that Snape was doing a non-verbal spell in his head simultaneously. I don't know if that's possible, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Does anybody have any idea how Harry didn't feel anything when Voldemort cast the Cruciatus Curse on him 3 times? Yeah. So it was something to do with so Voldemort's spells weren't binding anymore. They weren't binding on anyone because Harry died for everyone. He basically did the love protection charm that Lily did for him. So Voldemort's spells weren't binding on anyone anymore because Harry died to save everyone else. And he made a decision to do that. So Lily's love protection charm for Harry gave that to everyone else. So that's why Harry couldn't feel the Cruciatus spells. Oh, cool, Snowflake, you thought that too? Awesome. What house am I? Hufflepuff. Yeah, what house is everyone in the chat? Let me know in the chat what house everyone is. Eric, I think they would have had an anti-magic spell on the Quidditch box for safety. Yeah, that's true. So what I think about that is that, so the bludger it didn't start out chasing Harry, but in the middle of the match, Dobby started jinxing it. So it wasn't while it was in the box, it was in the middle of the match that it was when it was in midair that he started jinxing it. Thanks for joining, Cool Snowflake. Who does everything better, Hagrid or McGonagall? McGonagall definitely does everything better. Hagrid makes so many mistakes throughout the series. He's love Hagrid, but he's clumsy. Bye, Piggy. Slytherin, Autumn's Hufflepuff, Eva Slytherin, Padme Slytherin. Has anyone seen the Hogwarts Express go by? I really want to see this. Let me know in the comments if you ever see it. Who's better, Hagrid or McGonagall? McGonagall for sure. 64% for Cedric, so Oliver Wood's getting some votes. My favorite Hagrid scene? I'll be honest, I really like the scene in the books where Hagrid's telling Harry, Ron, and Hermione about his adventure with the Giants, about his journey with the Giants. I think that's one of the better written chapters in the whole entire series. It's very descriptive and cool, and you learn about a whole new part of the magical world, which is the life of giants and the dangers of trying to get them on their side. I thought it was one of the cooler parts of the story for sure. Yeah, I want to see the Hogwarts Express too. Padme, I'm with you. Oh, you hate that chapter, Jay? I love it. Oh, Autumn, you yeah, I shouldn't have told you that. That's basically the whole entire first book right there. You're a wizard, Harry. Yeah, Francesca for sure. What's your favorite McGonagall book scene? I really like when she puts Umbridge in her place, and it's during Harry's career. I forget exactly what they call it. Career consultation thing that all fifth years have during their OWLs, and Umbridge is in it too. And she says that Harry will never be an Auror, and McGonagall's I will train daily with Harry. If it's the last thing I do, Harry will become an Auror. She totally stands up for Harry, and I like that. I like that scene the best, I think. Have a Biscuit, yeah, that's a classic. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the password to Dumbledore's office in the movies is sherbet lemon, but in the books it's lemon drop. Which I thought was interesting. I thought in the books it was sherbet lemon as well, but it's actually lemon drop. And then also, why did everyone suspect Harry when Ron and Hermione was present to the finding of Mrs. Norris? So no one suspected Harry after Mrs. Norris. The movies made it seem that way because Harry walked up to Mrs. Norris while Hermione and Ron stood back. So everyone thought so the movies made it seem that way, but the only reason that that people in the book started thinking it was Harry was because the parcel mouse scene where Harry talked to the snake at the dueling club. So here's the question. So for Christmas, who got Harry the best Christmas present? So the Dursleys got Harry a toothpick. Hagrid got Harry a large tin of treacle fudge. Ron got Harry Flying with the Cannons book. Hermione got Harry a luxury eagle feather quill. And Mrs. Weasley, which, I mean, I feel like everyone's going to say Mrs. Weasley, but she got Harry a Weasley sweater and a large plum cake. So who got Harry the best gift, do you think? The Dursleys, Hagrid, Ron, Hermione, or Mrs. Weasley? Who's your favorite? Who's my favorite teacher? Honestly, Moody. Like the spy Moody is Barty Crouch disguised as Moody is a very interesting teacher. I love Moody. I love the fake Moody in Goblet of Fire. It's one of my favorite characters. Molly or Hermione? Flying with the Cannons, yeah, Dre. That's a great gift. Hermione and Molly, Ginny. Hermione, yeah, Padme. Lupin all the way. Barty Crouch Jr. Where is the Hogwarts Express? I feel like it's had to have come by now. I would love if it came right now. Hogwarts Express. And another question I had. Oh, Eric, Hermione, yeah. Yeah, it's a nice and useful gift. That's true. A nice eagle feather quill. And so Malfoy has an eagle owl. And I was wondering, I wonder if Hermione got the eagle feather from she plucked it from Malfoy's owl. I was like, that'd be funny. So another question that I had is why didn't Malfoy go home for Christmas? So for the Polyjuice scene, Harry and Ron and Hermione take the Polyjuice on Christmas Day, but why didn't Malfoy go back home for Christmas? In Philosopher's Stone, he makes fun of Harry by saying, "God, I feel bad for all the kids like whose families don't love them enough to have them back for Christmas." So Malfoy was making that joke, but then the next year he's home for Christmas. Like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, Narcissa would want Malfoy back home. Narcissa loves Malfoy, and like Malfoy is everything to Narcissa. Why would Malfoy be at Hogwarts? Why Narcissa would be like, "Yo, come home for sure." Because he hates his dad. He doesn't hate his dad at that point. He honors his dad. Like Malfoy thinks his dad is the absolute man. I'm not going to swear. He thinks he's the absolute man in that moment. And then Narcissa would for sure want Draco home. So 67% would take Cedric Diggory. Not a bad choice. He wants to watch a mudblood die. I didn't finish what I said. What were you saying, superhero? And then, so something else that I noticed. How long's the stream going to be? I don't really have a time limit on it. I just go through my notes on the chapters and kind of discuss it. 32 likes. Can we get to 50 likes? Can we get to 50? Do I see 50 likes? Wanted to catch the trio. Yeah, get in trouble. Yeah, that's true, Eric. But I for some reason I just feel like his parents would have made him go home. Like Narcissa would have made him go home. But so something else, when Harry and Ron took the Polyjuice potion, they realized they have no idea where the Slytherin common room is. They're like, oh crap, like we didn't like plan this out very well. Like we have no idea where the common room is, and so they get lost for a while. And so I was wondering, I was like why didn't they use their invisibility cloak to like stalk a couple Slytherins to see where they go to go into their common room? Like, why didn't they use the invisibility cloak? And also, why didn't they just do that from the beginning? Why didn't they just trail Malfoy in the invisibility cloak, go into the common room with him, and just like eavesdrop on his conversations, talking about the heir of Slytherin in the Chamber of Secrets? Like, why didn't they do that from the beginning? Why didn't he do that from the beginning? And then also, like, using the invisibility cloak to find out where the Slytherin common room was. That's like, why didn't they do that? But why didn't they do that for like the Ravenclaw common room or the Hufflepuff common room? Like, if I had an invisibility cloak and I was in Gryffindor and like no other student had ever been in any of the other common rooms, I'd be like, I'm trailing a Ravenclaw and I'm following them into the Ravenclaw common room. Like, I want to see that common room. I want to see the Hufflepuff common room. Like, Harry definitely underused that invisibility cloak. I'd be under it. I'd be using it for all that. The most underrated villain in Harry Potter, I'd say Barty Crouch Jr. for sure. 9:40. Yeah. What time is it for everyone? Where everyone's at? What time is it for you guys? I would go to Hufflepuff. I don't know what Hufflepuff common room looks like. Oh, you don't know? I'm a Hufflepuff in this, and that's the only common room I've been in, which I want to go in the other common rooms. Has anyone seen the Hogwarts Express go by? I really want to see it. I've never seen the Hogwarts Express in this game, but I really want to see it. 4:46 p.m. or a.m.? 9:47 a.m. That's nice, Francesca. 21:45. Don't know exactly what time that is. 9:46 p.m., Jess. 9:47. Something else. Yeah, so also the password to the Slytherin common room is pureblood. And I'm just like, how on the nose is that? It's like the password to Gryffindor common room being bravery. It's like, what? Like, any Ravenclaw or any Gryffindor, like, if you're any student in the world and you're like, I want to go in the Slytherin common room, and you just go up to the door and you're like, oh god, I wonder what the password is. So, like, what would be the Slytherin password? And you're just like, I feel like your first guess would be pureblood. And then all of a sudden you get into the, like, are you kidding me? It's just like, it's like the password to Gryffindor Tower being Godric. It's like anyone could get in there. It's like, pureblood's the password to the Slytherin common room? Like, what? Who is that? Who's not getting by that? Like, like, how are there not Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws and Gryffindors just all chilling in the Slytherin common room? And they're like, you think we couldn't get in here? You think we wouldn't guess pureblood? Like, what the hell? Yeah, snakes. Like, it's like the password being Slytherin. It's just like, oh, Slytherin. And they're like, oh, you got it. You got me. That's a great guess. Who's the most underrated Slytherin? I would say Andromeda Tonks. What time is it for me? It's 1:48 p.m. Pansy Parkinson. I hate Pansy Parkinson. Hater. And so another thing that I noticed is that so Mr. Weasley got fined 50 galleons for bewitching the flying car, which is crazy because this year when they go to Diagon Alley and when the Weasleys go to Gringotts, they have 1 galleon in their Gringotts vault. They have 1 galleon to their name, and Mr. Weasley gets fined 50 galleons for the flying car. It's like, how, like, imagine that. Imagine you have 1 galleon to your name, and you get fined 50 galleons. You're like, what the hell am I, like, how, what are you supposed to do about that? Oh, Regulus Black, very underrated for sure. $34 likes. Can we get to 40? Can we get to 40? God, it's so beautiful at Hogwarts. Harry should have paid for that. Yeah, for sure. Especially because he was staying at their house every goddamn summer. Like, Harry, fork up, dude. You gotta... Yeah, it's sad. How did they pay for the fine and for school? Yeah, apparently they won the lottery. Yeah, so they had 1 galleon to their name. The Weasleys win the lottery and they just take a lavish vacation to Egypt. It's just like, save your money, Weasleys. Like, you have money for the first time and you're just like, we're going to Europe. Boom, let's do it. He had connections, no fees were paid. Oh, he definitely had to pay it for sure. It's Lucius Malfoy who had the connections, not Mr. Weasley. All right, everyone. Well, that's all the notes that I had for chapters 6 through 12. Yeah, save your money, visit Bill for Christmas break. Yeah, I brought that. That's everything that I had for chapters 6 through 12. Thanks for joining the stream. We're gonna do next week's book club. So this upcoming week's book club is going to be chapters 13 to the end of Chamber of Secrets. So everyone read chapters 13 to end of Chamber of Secrets, and then we'll have our book club live stream discussion next Sunday. So thank you all for joining. Bye, Megan. Bye, superhero star. I'm glad you enjoyed the book club. Yeah, let me know if you guys are enjoying this, if I should keep doing this. Jess, oh, I'm glad you were having fun. Juan, I'm glad. Yeah, see you next time. I'm glad you had fun. Mirror, bye, Mirror. See you next time, Jess. Padme, oh, you loved it? There you go. Oh, okay. Dre, you love it too? There we go. Well, I'm glad. Then we'll keep doing this every week. Autumn. Bye, Kevin. I love this, even though I can't reread the books. Why can't you reread the books? If you don't have them, you can get them on Audible. You can do audiobook. Eva, yeah, have a nice day, Eva. Padme, bye. From Anakin. Dalila, yes, you should. Yeah, so this upcoming week, chapters 13 to the end of Chamber of Secrets, and then we'll start Prisoner of Azkaban. Which is awesome because I love Prisoner of Azkaban. We're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the Harry Potter series, and I can't wait to do it, baby. Woohoo. Oh, yeah, you have a pile of other books you need to read? That's a great thing. I don't have Chamber of Secrets. Aw, dang. Chamber of Secrets is a great book. Chamber of Secrets is probably the most underrated book. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. Next week, we'll get the Hogwarts Express. Next week, we will get the Hogwarts Express. Bye, Eric. I bet as soon as you sign off the Hogwarts. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I bet. Yeah, Eric, I bet it will. Jesus Christ. We'll get it next week. That's gonna be our goal during these book clubs. Our goal is to see the Hogwarts Express, and when it's gonna be like halfway through Half-Blood Prince. See you next week. Yeah, see you next week, everyone. Love you all. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a grand day.